I'm good, thank you.
It's still morning there in USA, right, Gabriel? And you're
Yeah.
here today, and it's on weekend. I'm so sorry, but thank you very much because this makes me feel, more more energetic because in here it's also already at night. And Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm in Jakarta, so the time zone is
Ah,
more
which
convenient for me.
okay, which side of Jakarta?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I hope everyone can mute their speakers, so their mic, I mean, so we can continue this webinar with lots of focus. Sorry, Stephanie, which side of Jakarta are you in right now? Because I'm
South
also in
Jakarta.
Jakarta. Ah, okay, 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 we can start. So So everyone, I would like to introduce also these two amazing speakers, like from the Stanford University. Kak Stephanie is a law student. She is graduated from University of Indonesia. She is a law student, and she has earned her master degree in Stanford University, and also Kak Gabriel is already she's still doing her study in Harvard University in medical study. So I'm pretty amazed because we know that these two top university in USA is like a dream for everyone, right? So yeah, it's like something that we can approach on, and we want to know something, like we want to know the information, how do we get there, and also how can we earn the scholarship, especially the LPDP scholarship, because both of Kak Stephanie and Kak Gabriel has earned this scholarship from the government, and also it's pretty much like a roller coaster. There must be like an up and down to get this scholarship, and how is the experiences to learn from these top universities. And I hope all of you guys in here who listen today in this webinar series with Kak Gabriel and Kak Stephanie will have the amazing insight from both of them. So okay, without any further ado, I guess we have to start this webinar. And I will present at first Gabriel to start the meeting. Okay,
Hello,
Gabriel, hi
thank you
Kak.
everyone for inviting me, and I guess I'll share my presentation for today.
Sure thing. The time is yours, Kak Gabriel. And I would like to remind all the audiences to mute their mic so that we can focus on what Kak Gabriel have to say.
Okay, so hi everyone, and today I'm going to present some information about winning scholarship for studying in the United States. So thank you also, Cindy, for the wonderful introduction. Probably I'll start with my own story. So I started. I have my background in Indonesia is medical degree. So I spent 2012 to 2019 basically finishing my medical degree and also embarking on a research exchange to Japan. It was in 2020 that I started to prepare for a Harvard application. And in 2021, I was accepted in Harvard. I also registered for LPDP scholarship after that, and I started my degree in 2021. But I think most people would wonder like where to start, especially if they want to study abroad. And I don't think that you really need any more convincing about studying abroad because uh, other than just like the knowledge that you will get, you will also get so many connections and so many novel experiences that will enrich you and your outlook for your future career. So I would also give like a brief introduction about the scholarship that funded me. So I think all of you already know about LPDP scholarship, but probably as a background, there are several kinds of LPDP scholarship. So the main program is called regular scholarship, and but for all of LPDP scholarship, you will get many benefits, including full funding for your studies, relations and networking. Also, you can join this organization Mata Garuda, which connects all LPDP alumni, and also various LPDP events. So I think if you want to build a career in Indonesia, it's really beneficial to have your LPDP scholarship, and it will set you up for success in life. These are what LPDP scholarship funds for you. So it's basically everything from registration fee to your tuition to your transportation fees. And there are 3 stages to LPDP scholarship. I think for this year, both of them have already closed. There are usually two selection processes each year, and I think for this year both of them have already closed. But if you want to register for next year, there's the administrative selection where you will submit your documentation and your files, your files, your transcript, and so on. And then there's in Indonesian, it's called seleksi berbasis kompetensi. So it's basically a written test on maths, English, and so on. And then you have the interview. So this is basically like an outline of what LPDP selection looks like. And I think for some cases, including my case, I was on the LPDP PTUD scholarship. I don't know if Stephanie is also on that one, but for that one, you can skip the SPK section. So you will go straight to interview. But so now let's get into the actual meat of this session. So many of you may wonder, how do I start preparing for scholarship application or Harvard application, and how do I present myself to the selection committee to convince them that I am worthy to receive scholarship or to receive admission to Harvard? I think what I want to let you all understand is the mindset that you have to have is that scholarship is an investment. So think of it as you being like an investment, same as like investors investing in a company, let's say. Then you have to convince the scholarship committee that you are a worthwhile investment and that you will give a worthwhile return of investment. So in the case of LPDP, since LPDP is a scholarship from our Ministry of Finance, then you have to convince them that you are a worthwhile investment, and that the money that is spent on your education is going to be returned through your contribution to Indonesia. So I think in presenting yourself as a good candidate, you only have to think about these 3 questions. So the first is that who are you? So you have to know what your values are, what your goals are, and what happened in your past that shaped your background up to the current state. And then the second thing is that if there is one thing you can change in Indonesia, what would you change? So this is very important because this gives the reason for the selection committee to actually choose you, and to actually like believe that you are a worthwhile investment because you actually wanna change this thing. And then the third is that how will you do that? So this comes from research and also talking from people who are in the same background as you, to understand what their career path, and hopefully this will also help you shape your own career. Now, I'd like to continue. So I think the key to success for either scholarship application or Harvard application is there are 2 components of these. So the first component is what I call statistics. So statistics include things such as your GPA, your test scores, IELTS or TOEFL scores, and also experiences, like how many years of experience you have had working in that industry. But many people get stuck on thinking about the statistics only. So like, I don't think I have high enough GPA, or I don't think my test scores are high enough. They forgot that there's a second part of this, of the key to success, which is your story. And your story comes up in, I think, three components. So the first is personal statement, the second is in letter of recommendation, and the third is in interview. What I presented in the previous slide, all these three questions, these add up to your story. And even if you have the perfect GPA or the perfect test scores, if you don't have a strong enough story, you don't know how to present yourself, how to show them who you are and what you want to change, and how you will do that, then it's futile, because LPDP will not understand why they should give you the money to pursue your education. And also Harvard or Stanford won't think that you're a good candidate, because Harvard and Stanford are institutions that want to shape the leaders of the world. So they're not doing education just for the tuition fees or the money, but they are actively looking for students who they think will come out and change the world, and show that Stanford or Harvard alumni are those that are in such high quality that they can change the world. So you have to present a very strong story to them also, to show them that you deserve a spot in their class. So I think it's very important for you to have the right mindset for scholarships. And I think the key is starting from knowing yourself. So I think this relates back to what I said before. So always try to know yourself, who you are, what moves you, and how you plan to change things. If you wonder about where do I start about scholarship, I think it's very, very important to understand that it's not just about what documents you should prepare or what test you should plan to take, but it's also very important to do lots of self-reflection to know the answers to these three questions. Because when you apply for scholarships, all these three things, you only have to package them into a good story in your personal statement and your recommendation letter. And other than that, if you are still in college, I would highly, even if you're not in college anymore, but I would highly encourage you to build on what I call the 3C. So the first one is competence. How do you show your competence? It shows from your GPA, your transcript, or any courses that you take. This shows that you are competent in whatever field you're pursuing, whether it is law or engineering or medicine or whatever. So what you can do now is to have a better GPA if you're still in college, or if you're already graduated from college and you feel like you still need to show that you are more competent than you feel your GPA shows, you can do things such as taking open courses such as Coursera and so on. The second C is your credentials. So credentials mean that credentials are things that certify you as being competent and being worthy for whatever you want to do, right? So what you can do to improve your credentials is, first, you can have internships in reputable companies. You can start volunteering, you can start contributing to events and so on, to show in your CV that if people read it, they will instantly understand that you are competent and you are trustworthy to take up whatever post you're applying to. And the third one is connection. So this is also very important. Always remember to always build good connections wherever you are, and always show that you have good work ethic, and also that you are a passionate and committed person. This is I think it doesn't matter where you are in life. Even if you are still just like entering college, always keep good connections, because this is not only important for the career path that you're going to take, but you are also going to ask for letters of recommendation for all of your college application, all of your graduate school application, and also scholarship application. So it's really important for them to write you good letters of recommendation. And finally, you should prepare early. So after you've done all these, which I think you should do continuously, once it gets closer to the due date of the scholarship or the grad school application, you can start preparing early, either preparing for test taking, or at least creating a timeline of when you should finish each component of your application. I think it's very important. For me, it's very helpful to make a month-by-month timeline. So, as I told you, I started thinking about Harvard in 2020, and I plan to apply in 2021. So, I started creating a month-by-month timeline of what I should have gotten done every month. So, for example, in May 2020, I plan to take TOEFL test. And then June 2020, I scheduled it for GRE. And then after that, I scheduled July, August, and September to create my essays. So I think you can adjust that to make sure that you are not missing on any documents or anything that you didn't prepare for. I think, especially if you're still in college, you should always delve on your interest. So you should always increase your horizons, try to delve further into fields that you think are interesting, or share with your friends or seniors, especially if you still don't know the answer to the question that the three questions in the previous slides about who you are and what you want to change and what you want to do. Especially then, you have to always delve further into your interests and truly understand what moves you or what motivates you. I think the more you don't know the answer to that, the more you should explore. So, and I think like eventually you will find something that you're interested in or that you're good at, and you think is something that will benefit a lot of people if you can change that. Also, always have an aware mindset. So always think outside of yourself. So always think in terms of what you can do. I think this is also very important, especially if you're applying to top schools, because they won't accept candidates who only go to, say, Harvard or Stanford, to be able to say like, guys, I went to Harvard and Stanford, because that's shallow and superficial. And I think they want to find candidates who have more purpose in life than that. And finally, you have to plan. So don't go through university trying to just trying to survive, so to say. So you have to make goals or plans for your future. And you also need to consider this question. So do you really need actually to go to graduate school to achieve that goal? Because if you want to achieve something, you don't have to go to graduate school for that. So you have to truly know and be able to justify why you want to go to graduate school. So these are some examples of things that you can do. So for example, to delve further into your interests, you can join new organizations, you can find new internship opportunities, or build more relations to your seniors, understand about their own career paths, where they went to school, what they're doing now, and so on. To improve your awareness, you can start pioneering something that you see helps other people, or you can start volunteering in new things. And finally, for planning, I think you should, as I said, you should use your time wisely, prepare for tests early. Especially for English, you don't have to have a set date to prepare for English. You can start incorporating English into your daily life. So it's something that you can start doing today, even if you're not planning yet on attending graduate school. And you can start making a life grand map, for example, for the next 5, 10, or 15 years. Next, I think you should find the right info. So if you have already gotten that all set, you already know why you want to go to graduate school, you already know what you want to be in life, then you can start preparing for your application. So you can start from doing lots of reading and research. So almost every info about whatever program you're applying to, either scholarship or schools, are on the website. So don't be lazy. Don't be too lazy to read. Especially for LPDP, you can read the booklet which is on the website. And I think throughout the process of applying for LPDP, almost everything that you want to find the answers to are in the LPDP booklet. So you have to download that. And for Harvard, for example, you can just start from Googling. Like if you already know what field you want to do, you can start Googling and see if that program is available in Harvard. And then you can look further to see who the faculty are, what the curriculum includes. You can see where the alumni of the program go to after graduating from that program, and so on. You can also see all the entry requirements. You can even email them if you don't find an info on the website. So it's really important to continuously read and do your research. And then you can also share, for example, through participating in webinars such as this one, or looking for information from other Indonesian people. I think most of them will be really helpful if you approach them on social media, as long as you come informed. So finally, in the last stage, in the last 6 months to 1 year before you actually have your application deadline, it's time to start planning and get in the process. So I'll probably talk a bit about essay because I think this webinar has a really wide scope. So I didn't want to get into like the technicalities too much, but this is an example of the format for LPDP essay. So in writing an essay, for me personally, it took about 2 or 3 months to write my essay. But you have to write essays for your school, either like Harvard or Stanford or whatever school you're applying to. You have to write essays for that, and you have to write essays for LPDP. So the difference between those two, I think, is that essays for LPDP are obviously should be geared more into your contribution to Indonesia. And essays for Harvard or Stanford are more geared towards showing how you are a worthy candidate or how you are a worthy addition to the class. So you can see here from the format for LPDP essay, I don't think this applies in the last year, but in my year, this was what they told me to write. So you have to explain an urgent thing that Indonesia is facing. You have to explain how important your knowledge is, how important the knowledge that you will get, your dream for the future, and so on. So and finally, other than essay, you also have to tell your story in recommendation letter. So actually, it uses the same principle as your essay. And how to have a strong recommendation letter is, as I said, you have to build strong connections with people. And I think this is also really important to know that you are not required to have recommendation letter from someone who are in high places, such as from ministers or so on, if that person doesn't know you well. So what matters in recommendation letters is that person knows you really well and can tell about who you are as a person. It uses the same principle as essay, so it has to tell a story about you that is personal and relatable. And I think it makes more impact if the recommendation letter tells about the journey and not only about the results. So it shows about how you improve as a student or as an employee, and it will really convince the reader that you are a worthy addition to their class. So back again, the key to success is statistics and story. So remember to improve your statistics, but also the story is really important, and you really have to understand about who you are, what you want to change, and how you want to change those things. I think that's all. This is the last bit. So of course, other than all these, last 2 cents probably is that application to scholarships or grad school is a marathon, not a sprint. So it requires you to have lots of hard work and resilience. And I think with all these combinations, you are all set up for success. I think that's all for today. Thank you.
Wow, what a nice insight. I know that what Gabriel have to say is like something like it's not a matter of which alumni you are in, but how you can give a value to yourself, like that you are the alumni of that university. And yeah, I think that's a good insight for us. And also we can, we have the inspiration to actually give ourselves or to think that maybe we are capable to do that. Maybe not like we have to do that, maybe, but maybe we are capable to do that. Like it's not a matter of how to or whatever it is, but it's a matter of how you value yourself to get that scholarship and how you can earn to be in that university. Yeah, I think that's a good insight for all of the audiences in here. Thank you so much, Gabriel. We'll get back to you after the Q&A session, because we'll have the Q&A session after Stephanie will also give her insight to this webinar. But before we're going on to Stephanie, I would like to to remind all the audience that this is the pre-event of Istanbul Youth Summit. So everyone who still confused about how to apply, and as if we are extending our registration until 10th of September. So I will welcome someone from our team. She is Kak Yunita. Hello, Kak Yunita. Okay.
Hi.
Ready? Okay. Okay. So I will also want to have permissions to Kak Gabriel and Kak Stephanie. We will have maybe 2 or 5 minutes to give information about Istanbul Youth Summit for the audiences. Okay, Kak Yunita, I will give the time to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I asked the permission to share screen about my slides. Sorry. Okay, is it? Okay, am I audible, guys? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So my name is Yuni Marat Salihah. I'm a proud team for Istanbul Youth Summit 2023. And here's I'd like to explain about our event, International Conference Istanbul Youth Summit 2023, which this is the program that initiated by Youth Break the Boundaries Foundation to build character for the youth and also the expertise to achieve 5 goals by us, because we also now focusing on sustainability, sustainable development goals. And I would say that this is also a great event for the youth around the world. And this event will be held in Turkey from 6 to 9 February 2023. And here's the eligibility criteria for our future applicants. First, the applicants from all nations can apply. So everyone here, you are really welcome to apply to our event, guys. No matter where are you. This is also a good chance for you to have a great opportunity to engage with others, to build your communities as well, to have a global network as well. As our speaker said that doing volunteering or joining the event or conference, that should be really helpful for your future. And this event is no exception. And also the next is the age should be between 15 to 35, and also the applicants from all academics background can apply. So because we also have 5 sub-teams here, including the education, economics, industry, good health and well-being, and also about the sustainable cities and communities. So whatever your background is, you are really welcome to apply to our event, and not affiliated with any extremist organizations, because we are youth and we have a lot of ideas. So that should be great for you to engage with us, also to collaborate with all people here. And you can discover all the information by our website, istanbulyouthsummit.com. So about the requirements, also about the details, our theme, we describe and also we explain by our website in istanbulyouthsummit.com. And here's our official merchandise, because we also proudly explain to you guys, to let you know that we also have official merchandise in this year. You can also order it because this is like your identity to as a youth, that you also have the great ideas to bring better world. And this is our documentations from the previous Istanbul Youth Summit. A lot of youth and also young generations. And from the expertise, we held the international conference in Istanbul. And by doing that, we also have huge ideas and something great to bring better work in our surroundings. Let's say for Indonesia as well. So by joining this, our alumni and our participants create their social program, and also we collaborate with each other, and we also bring beneficial for people. So maybe that's all from me. Our registration date is extended by 10 September. So now you can join to register yourself as our future participant in Istanbul Summit 2033. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Kayunita, for the information. To everyone who wants to apply to the Istanbul Youth Summit 2023, you can ask directly to Kasusila, or you can also follow us by the end of the session, because we also have to share the PIC contact. And yeah, I think we'll get back to the webinar session again. Thank you so very much, Kayunita. Okay, here we have Kak Stephanie. Hello, Kak Stephanie. Hello again.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So, Kak Stephanie, I would like to ask you a question. So before you were graduating from University of Indonesia, and you also have graduated master degree in Stanford University, right? Okay. So right now you're working as okay, where do you work at?
Yeah, so I went to Universitas Indonesia for my bachelor's degree, and then to Stanford for the master's degree. And now I am a director of an NGO.
Okay, so you have your own NGO.
Yes,
that's quite good, because I saw your CV, like you're focusing on the ocean, like awareness for the ocean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I would like to give the time for you to present your presentation to all the audiences we have right now. So, okay, the time is yours, Stephanie.
Okay, I'll do the screen share. Let me try to find. Okay, is it showing now?
Yes, it's already shown.
Okay, great. Okay, hello everyone. Well, I think Gabriel has covered a lot of important things, so I'm just trying to be quick here and just add a little bit more about my perspective, which will be very similar to what Gabriel has presented, but I'll try to do my best to also contribute. So today I'll be talking about how to apply for scholarships to study abroad. And the first thing that wait, let me try to fix this. Yeah, the first thing that I always say to people who ask me about how to apply for scholarships is, first, you really have to think about it. You have to think about whether you are applying to study this year, next year, or are you going to apply for a deferral? I did a deferral. So I applied to Stanford in 2019 before the pandemic with an excitement of going to Stanford the very next year in 2020. But then the pandemic hits and everything changes. So I asked for a deferral to 2021. But I would say that asking for a deferral to the school or even to the scholarship provider is not easy. You don't always get granted your deferral request granted. Sometimes it requires you to have a very urgent reason to not go in your admitted year. For example, you're sick, or for me, the reason was the pandemic. But you cannot say, well, in most schools, probably there's an exception in several schools, but you cannot say that the reason why you are choosing to defer because you haven't had any commitment from the scholarship. You cannot say that, because my friends tried to ask for a deferral to Stanford with that very excuse. But Stanford say that basically, in a simple way, they say that we don't care about your financial issue, about your financial commitment. Because when we admitted you to this school, they have the sense, they have the belief that you are already, everything is already taken care of, including the scholarship. So you have to really think about that, whether you can go to school next year or you really have to ask for a deferral. And then second is to decide whether you apply for a scholarship first or you apply to the school first. For me, because I also got to LPDP from the I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called, but basically the one that Gabriel mentioned. You skip all the process. You went through the administrative, the written task process, and basically the only thing that you had to do is only the interview. I went through that requirement because I applied for the school first, and then I applied for the scholarship. But I do say that sometimes applying for the scholarship first before applying to the school first can be also be beneficial for you, because in most cases, for example, in Fulbright, if you apply for the scholarship first, they will help you to find the school. They will help you to guide through all the requirements to apply for the school, which is really helpful from what my friends say. So yeah, think about that, whether it's better for you to apply for the school first or the scholarship first. But both ways, they have pros and cons. And third, think about whether you really need to improve your English before applying. And this is very useful for you to know how many time you have, how much time you have to reserve to learn about the required TOEFL or IELTS test. And then next, what you have to do is to find out about the available scholarships. And what to consider is that, one, what will the scholarship cover? I don't know about the scholarships, other scholarships from other countries outside of the US, but I do know that Fulbright, because I studied in the United States, so I only know about Fulbright and LPDP. Fulbright compared to LPDP, LPDP's coverage is much more bigger than Fulbright. I can say that. I don't know about the scholarships in other countries, but you do have to do a research on that, whether they will cover all of the things, all the tuition, the travels, and also your living allowance, and how much of the living allowance they will cover. You have to do a research on that. And then the second one is that you have to know if there is any commitment during and after the study. For example, LPDP, you have the commitment to stay in Indonesia and work in Indonesia for me, because I studied for 1 year, I have to stay and work in Indonesia for 3 years before applying to jobs in other countries. Other scholarships, for example, Fulbright, you don't have that kind of commitment. So basically, they are really flexible in what you want to do after the study. And it really helped you to really make a timeline of your plans ahead after the graduation. And the third one is you have to consider about how big is the chance of getting it. How is the competition? For example, in LPDP, you can kind of do the statistics, like how many people are applying each year and how many got that every year. But I can say that Fulbright, again, I only know about Fulbright and LPDP. I can say that the competitiveness of Fulbright, especially in the field of law, Fulbright is much more competitive than LPDP. The success rate of Fulbright, especially for the field of law, is really, really lower than LPDP. And then the fourth item to consider is that if that scholarship is really interested in your field of study. For example, in the field of study in law, there are not a lot of law graduates that were funded with Fulbright compared to other fields of study. With LPDP, when I applied, I think there were like 20 students, 20 awardees LPDP that got scholarship for their Masters of Law. But the next year, LPDP only gave to one awardee for the field of law. So you have to know whether you have a bigger chance of applying with that field of study to a particular scholarship. And then next, improve your English. Do like a trial TOEFL or IELTS, because from my experience, I thought I was fluent in English. I thought that I had no problem doing the test, TOEFL or IELTS. But then I did a trial, and turns out my score was not as good as I expected. Because it turns out doing a TOEFL, doing an IELTS, it doesn't necessarily require you to be really fluent in speaking or in writing, but you also have to be familiarized with the test. Like you have to make yourself really familiar with the questions, and you're going to do a lot of readings during the test. You're going to do a lot of listening. So you have to get used to that. So I have a website that I recommend. It is thebestmytest.com. It really helped me. So you can do the TOEFL or IELTS trial anywhere, anytime. It really is helpful because they really assess the score. So it's not it is computerized, but for the speaking, they really do the scoring like the real TOEFL or IELTS test. So it really helps. You should try that. And then the second one is to prepare the required document. We serve a lot of time for that because it can take 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the documents that are required. But for me, it took way over 1 month. And then the personal statement or the essay, which I think is very, very important. So the first thing that you should explain in your personal statement or your essay is that you have to tell the reader who you are. And don't just restate some things that are already in your CV or in your resume. The personal statement is your way to express yourself that you cannot write it in a CV or a resume. And the second one is to tell a story. Why do you want to study abroad? Whether you want to have an expertise in a particular field of study, so that's why you have to continue your education, whether it is required by your job or whether you want to make a career shift. And the third one is to explain why do you choose the school. Is it the program? Is it because of the professor? Is it because of the location or because of the values? Because the school that you want to go is very inclusive, etc. And then the next one is to tell about your future plans. Your future plans during the study and also after graduating. For example, you can say that during the study, I'd like to also join the center in the university. I'd like to also do an internship. I'd like to do a fellowship or become a teacher assistant. You can say that in your personal statement. And then also after graduating. And what you want to do in your personal statement is that first, you really have to make it stand out, because you can imagine thousands of personal statements were submitted. And then the reviewer, they have to write probably hundreds of personal statements a day. So you really have to make an interesting first paragraph to make them really read all the way until the end. For example, this is the first paragraph, the first two sentences of my personal statement. It was like everyone has their own story on how certain things led them to what they do today. And my story started with an article saying flying fish is threatened to extinct. Because as Cindy mentioned before, that my focus is ocean governance. I work for advocacy for ocean related issues. So this was what I wrote in my personal statement. And also second one is to keep it short. There's always a word limit. And with school, they usually for law school, the word limit is around 700, which is like only 1 to 2 pages. It's really hard to really make a good personal statement with those very restrictive number of pages. And then the third is be passionate and visionary, really tell about your dreams. And the fourth is be humble. You do have to sell yourself, but you cannot speak too highly of yourself. And it's really important to talk with others, ask for others' opinion, and also ask someone to review your application. For me, I had the help from At America. If you know that, they have At America in Jakarta in Pacific Place. You can come, make an appointment, and they will review all your required documents. They will review all your CVs. They will review your personal statements. They will give you feedbacks. It was really helpful for me. And also third one is, this is very important, tell your family to pray for you. And next, okay, I have 2 more minutes. Okay, I'd like just to share a little bit about my experience studying abroad. Well, I can say that it takes a lot of adjustment. For example, one thing is that I used to hate cooking. I didn't want to cook for myself, but because everything is very expensive in the United States, so I had to learn to cook. That's one thing. And then the second thing is that you might get imposter syndrome, meaning that you feel like you don't deserve to be here. You feel like there must be a mistake that Stanford granted my application. But trust me, everyone is feeling the same. So when I got to Stanford, when I did my application, the difference between Stanford and other law schools in the United States is that Stanford has an interview process. So after they review their personal statement, they make a shortlisted candidates, and then they interviewed by phone all the candidates. And I prepared for that phone interview for several nights. Like I didn't know what they're going to ask during the interview. But as it turned out, the interview was very, very casual. Like they only talked about my day, how was my day, whether I enjoy my job, whether I'm excited to be in the US. Like at that time, I didn't know what it was for. But when I got to Stanford, I asked my professor, and I told her that I was really curious. So what do you want to see during the interview? Because it was really friendly. It was really casual. And they mentioned that they really want to assess our personality. So they really want to know how humble we are. And I guess when you are an arrogant person, when you do the interview, you will say things like, I am really smart. I am the top student in my class, and things like that. And my professor said that those values, those characters of people, those are the things that Stanford doesn't want to have in their school. So that's why I feel like everyone that is admitted in top schools, everyone is really humble. And so that's why I tell you, I can bet that everyone has imposter syndromes being in top schools. And the third one is that during your study, it can be really stressful. I'm not gonna lie, but you have to learn how to cope with that. And for me, my way to cope with that is to travel. Well, I was in the United States. I got to be in one of the most wonderful states in the United States, which is California. So I traveled a lot. And the last one is to learn from your classmates, not only from your professors, but you can learn a lot from all your classmates. And that's all from me. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Okay, so Stephanie have just told us that never be too ambitious because everyone have their chances to earn something. Like if you think like you can, but never judge someone that maybe they can't do anything, maybe they can blah 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 or something like that. Sorry. And yeah, I think we have like such a nice insight from Ka Gabriel. Like we have Ka Gabriel has explained a lot how are the process to from ourselves to prepare, and also Ka Stephanie have also told us about the experiences on how we can learn and also cope with the situation. From I know, as I know, like the top university, like it's like two of the most famous, especially in the United States. Like if we cannot cope with the situation, maybe we also like feeling so confused and how to apply. We think that maybe I wouldn't success, maybe I'm such a failure, like that. Like maybe in what Ka Gabriel have to say, she said that okay, know your value. Also Ka Stephanie said that you'll need to learn to cope with the situation. So it's such like a good combination for you who wants to apply the scholarship and also who wants to study abroad. And yeah, I think before we're going on to the Q&A session, we will have the photo session together, Ka. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. So, okay, I would like to, I need help from our team to screenshot, to doing the screenshot for this photo session. I guess I hope everyone can open their cameras and showing their beautiful faces. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay, from the slide one. Hello. Thank you everyone who have opened their cameras. Okay. Okay. I will give the what do we call it? Ababa. Okay, from 1, 2, 3. Give your best smiles. Okay, going on to the next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, going on to the next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, going on to the next slide. This is the last slide, I guess. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I guess that's it. Okay, to everyone who have questions for Ka Gabriel and Ka Stephanie, I would read the chat section. I guess they have a lot to ask. Oh, they're showing gratitude and thanks. Thanks, Ka, for the nice insight. Okay. Okay. There is from Rahmadani. Is Rahmadani still here? Is it okay if I present the audience to us directly to you, Ga? Like I would ask them to open their mic and ask directly to whether they want to ask Kak Stephanie or Kak Gabriel. Okay. Okay, I guess I would just ask from Ramadhani. I would ask in Bahasa because she is answering in Bahasa. Okay, Aisyah has already raised her hand. Kak, terkait surat rekomendasi, diwajibkan 2 surat rekomendasi, satu dari akademik dan satunya lagi dari pekerjaan. Apakah kita harus tetap meminta surat rekomendasi dari dosen meskipun beliau, meskipun beliau tidak mengenal kita secara mendalam, seperti tidak tahu passion dan kita tidak terlalu banyak bekerja sama dengan beliau, dan secara rekomendasi letter itu harus personal, Kak. Jadi, how do we earn the letter of recommendation from our lecturer, even if we are not that close with our own lecturer, something like that, Kak? Okay, maybe from Gabriel first.
Hi, thank you for the question. So I think it highly depends on the program that you're applying to. But if the program generally says that it requires like 1 academic recommendation and 1 professional recommendation, then you have to follow that. So even though like you think, back again, for those who are still in campus, I think it's really important to like build a connection with like a lecturer or more. But in the case as, for example, you have already left campus and you already cannot request a recommendation letter, I think what you can do is first you can email the program and ask if it's okay if you submit a professional recommendation instead. But I think it probably may require you to still to have an academic recommendation, especially if it's like a more academic instead of a professional program. So the next thing you can do is you can come back to your campus and you can find a professor that you think may understand your wishes to go abroad, and then you can offer to do something like an internship or help them with their research or help them with a project, for example, and then you can work with them for like 3 to 6 months, and then you can have that way you can have grounds to request for recommendation. So you can still always like do something more even if you feel like you've missed your chance in college. And I actually did the same. So I returned to my alma mater and approached one of my professors and offered him to for me to help their research. And of course they want that help because most lecturers will be required to submit like lots of journal articles and stuff. So that way I was able to get 2 recommenders for me to do that.
Okay, so you have to cooperate well with the lecturer itself. Okay, going on to Kak Stephanie. Maybe she has also something to say for Rahmadani.
Yeah, I can add that as far as my understanding, the reason why they ask for a letter of recommendation from the academic side is that they wanted to know how well are you going to be doing in class. So as long as you can have someone like your old professor, you can have someone to say that you can follow all the materials, all the topic in class, and you have no problem in doing the exams, you're good. That's all they want to know.
Because it's like recommendation. I mean, anyone can have like the recommendation if they're not so close with whomever she wants to apply to.
Yeah, okay. Well, just a little bit. For me, I think the letter of recommendation from my employer means a lot more than the recommendation from my professor.
Okay, so it's like, which one do you focus on more? Okay, thank you very much. I hope that's clear enough for the answer, because we're already in the last session of the webinar. I guess I will ask one more person to ask for Kak Gabriel and Kak Stephanie. So I see that Aisha has already raised her hand. So please, Aisha, can you open your mic and ask directly what do you want to ask to Kak Gabriel and Kak Stephanie? please.
Okay. First of all, hello, Kak Gabriel, Kak Stephanie. First of all, I'm to apply my scholarship, undergraduate scholarship, and the thing is, the scholarship I want to apply for require the applicants to enclose their A-level certificate, which is my school doesn't provide that in their curriculum. Now, the thing I want to ask is it possible for me to self-taught myself about A-level? And considering that it took 2 years for studying A-level. Thank you.
Okay, is the question quite clear, Kak Stephanie and Kak Gabriel? Okay, I will have the time for Kak Stephanie to answer first. Okay.
Sorry, I think I had a connection problem.
Oh, okay.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's audible now, Kak.
Okay. So I didn't really I couldn't hear the question. So can you repeat that?
Okay. So I'm planning to apply my scholarship, my undergraduate scholarship. But the thing is, the scholarship I want to apply for is require me to enclose A-level certificate, which is my school doesn't provide that in their curriculum. Now, I want to ask, is it possible for me to self-taught myself about A-level, considering that it took 2 years for studying A-level generally? That's all.
Okay, I don't think I have an answer to that because I applied for a master degree, which is a graduate school which didn't require any of those things. So I'm sorry, but I don't think I have the answer for that.
Okay, thank you, Kak Stephanie. It's okay. Does Kak Gabriel have the answer for the question?
So same, I also applied to graduate school for scholarship, but I know that people who apply to, for example, Singaporean universities such as NUS or NTU, they take A levels outside of like national curriculum, and they can self-teach themselves, but it's really difficult. I know that it's pretty difficult. So I guess if you really want to do that and you think you can, then you can do that. But it's a bit difficult, and I think it's difficult if you want to do it alone. I would highly suggest that you find like someone who will teach you, especially if you need to do like maths, which I think is very different from what we learn in typical high school.
Yeah, so it's also a matter of time. Like maybe she's afraid of wasting time for 2 years to apply for the scholarship, but it's okay. I mean, it's not a matter of how much time you need to earn for to earn the scholarship itself, but I mean, it's also a nice way to start something new. So I guess I hope Kaisha can have the answer while she's also try to research for something. Okay, I think but we still have like a lot of people asking questions. Can I ask for the for adding time, like for permission to have another question? I guess this one question will represent everything that they ask. Like, how do we do to? I mean, like, what's the first thing that we need to do? Applying for the scholarship first, or applying for the university first? Okay, that's the question, I guess, from all the people in the comments section. Okay, I think I will give the time for Kak Gabriel first to answer this question.
Hi, so I think so a lot of people also ask me that, but I think for me, just apply to whatever opens first. if you have planned to like apply to graduate school and you want to go as soon as possible, then I think just apply to whatever opens first, because the first one you apply for will always be hard, but the second one will always be helped by the first one if you were successful in the first one. So for example, if you were accepted at a university, then you can skip an LPDP stage, for example. But if you are accepted at a scholarship, they may, as Stephanie said, they may give you guidance to apply for universities, or you may even actually like just say I am funded by a scholarship, so you'll have an advantage compared to other candidates. So I think just apply to whatever opens first, and it will always be harder, but the second one will always be easier. As for my case, I applied to Harvard first before LPDP, but that's not because of a strategy or something. That's only because LPDP was closed due to the pandemic. So if LPDP had opened in the previous year, I think I would have applied to LPDP.
Does Stephanie want to add the answer to this question?
Yeah, just to add a little bit, I guess it also depends on which scholarship you're applying to. For example, in LPDP, they have different tracks for the ones who already have the letter of acceptance from the university, which is really helpful for me, because if I did the regular track for LPDP, I don't think that I could make it. The regular track is much more competitive, like thousands of applicants. They only choose probably 20% of all the applicants. The regular track is very competitive, but the special track for the ones that already have the letter of acceptance, from my experience, all the applicants during my year of application, LPDP granted all the applications of all the applicants. So we have, I think it was around 400 awardees who applied with a letter of acceptance from top universities. And I know for a fact that no one didn't get it. Everyone got it. So it really depends on the scholarship. If you apply for a scholarship that doesn't have that track, like they don't have a special track for the ones who already have the letter of acceptance, then it doesn't matter if you want to apply for the school first or the scholarship first.
Okay, thank you very much. So it depends. Yeah, right, Kat. Okay, I think it answered everyone's question to the fact that which one do we have to apply first? Okay, so for the next session, we will have to give the rewards for each speakers. We will present the certificate to Gabriel first. I think I need help from my team to present the certificate. So thank you so much, Gabriel, for the amazing insight and the experiences on studying abroad, especially through the top university in USA in which you applied through. It's the Harvard University. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And going on for Stephanie. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for the amazing insight and the experiences on studying and applying scholarship to Stanford University. As I know, like these two top university are our dreams to go there, and it will be like amazing experiences to share. And I hope and I give like an absolute thanks to both of you as our speakers today, and to everyone who have joined this webinar series. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I wish the best of luck for all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I just have a question, please. May I?
If you have any more questions for Ka Gabriel and Ka Stephanie, you can contact them through their own social media. As what is mentioned, Ka Stephanie has already mentioned her Instagram account, and also maybe Ka Gabriel would like to give this her personal social media.
Yeah, I already
Okay,
dropped that in the
can you
chat
just
box.
resend it, please?
Okay.
Can you resend it?
Okay, I will resend on the chat. Okay, I already sent on the chats, and also Ka Gabriel I have also shared her social media. So for everyone who haven't got the chance to answer directly to Ka Stephanie and Ka Gabriel, can also ask them in their social media. Thank you so much, Ka, for the opportunities. I'm sorry if I have like said something wrong, or I keep blabbering for myself. Thank you very much for the amazing insight. I hopefully like want to learn very much from you.
Well, thank you very much for inviting.
Okay, so for
Thank you very much. Good luck, everyone.
thank you, Ka. Good luck for you too. Okay, for the audiences, I would like to have a feedback from you. I mean, we would like to have the feedback for the webinar series. Maybe there is something that we need to add, or we need to improve in the next webinar. So I would like you to fill the feedback form right in the chat section for 2 minutes maybe, and for the while filling out the form for the feedback, I want my team to present the song from the official song from Istanbul Summit for you to enjoy. So, okay, for Bella, you can add that to the form.
Take your time to breathe. Take a moment and listen to your calling. It lies deep inside of you. Beyond the line, wide awake and feel the world you live in. There are chances away. And the spark of courage will lead to the path that you've never seen. But then you realize you did. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. 'Cause we are the you.
So we have ended the webinar session. For those of you who want to apply to Istanbul Youth Summit 2023, you can apply to our official website, istanbulyouthsummit.com. And if you have any more questions that is not applied on our official website, you can also share your questions to our official emails, or you can also give a direct message to our Instagram account. It's on Istanbul Youth at Istanbul Youth Summit. And for the emails, our official email is istanbulyouthsummit@gmail.com. So for those of you who wants to apply to the Istanbul Youth Summit 2023 and have questions regarding to our program next year in Istanbul, that will be held in 6 to 9 February 2023, you can see at this poster that we provide for you, and all the PICs on the below of the posters. So if you want to join, please register yourself to official website of istanbulyouthsummit.com. And if you have any more questions, you can also ask to the PIC on the posters below. Thank you very much for the audiences that stick to us to the end. And I hope you guys have an amazing day and also night. Have a good night to you all in Indonesia, and also in another part of the world that is still morning or afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Have a good day. And thank you very much for the attention given.
Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. 'Cause we are the you. Head up high, here we stand and rise. And we help each other so much that we can do. Embrace your color, just shine in your own way. In diversity we unite. When we are one, we're brighter. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. your time to breathe. Take a moment and listen to your calling. It lies deep inside of you.